And that is the reason why you must have joined in time.
Yeah, we can see the students, madam. We want to see you, Sajna, madam.
Madam is settling down.
Madam, they want to see.
Yes. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so we can see you, Sajna.
It's a boys' school, right? Most of them are boys.
Yes. So the teachers
Sajna,
are the color today for us. Yeah, the ladies are the teachers.
Orange color.
No, the girls are also there on the left hand side.
On the left side.
Yeah, there are some girls there.
Okay, fine. We'll start, Ajay sir.
Yeah.
Sajna, can we start?
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me well.
Wave if you can hear.
Yeah, wave if you go. Very good. Excellent.
Yes.
That's so wonderful. Which shows, Padmaja, that you have done quite a bit of the than I have. To engage them. Yeah. So welcome to this major, initiative by our president, Dr. Shanta Kumari, and the entire team. Thank you very much for joining in today. I know it's a Sunday morning, and we are hoping that we will be able to give you the best we can for this entire program. I will not talk in details about the program because we have the speakers and the faculty for the same. And I must congratulate the school, the principal, all the teachers, each of you students, girls and boys who are sitting here to make this possible. And a very warm welcome to Padmaja, Shalija, Kiranmai, and Sajna for being available today to make this session possible for everyone in this important school. So with that, Kiranmai, please take over and lead the session with all the speakers. Thank you very much. All of you have a great day, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Ajay.
Thank you, sir. Pillalu, first let me find out Anta Telugu, okay na?
English medium school, they want us to speak in English.
In English, wonderful.
Yes.
So very nice, and thank you for joining us on Sunday. So we'll start with our President Foxy, Dr. Shanta Kumari's message. Before that, this is an initiative that is to stop violence against women, because we found that violence starts, the roots of violence are in the society, right from childhood to teenage to adulthood, and by the time we become adults, most of the behaviors we are conditioned with certain toxic and negative aspects of this, and it is difficult to change once we become adults. And as young students between 9th to 12th class, yours is the right age to target and change the mindset. That is what our president's intention had been. So she had initiated this campaign DHEERA in 2016. Initially, it started as a few public campaigns like walkathons, cyclothons. Then also many students and many youngsters had taken part in those bike rallies, cycle rallies very, very actively. And always we used to think that it is important to make youngsters part of this program. So the online school certification along with UNICEF, that is this DHEERA online school certification program to stop violence against women. So this is the vision and brainchild of we are around 37,000 gynecologists across India, and all of us have a federation for us, and we have a president for that federation, who is Dr. Shanta Kumari. So this is her program and her vision, which we are all as members, as part of the team, we are taking it ahead. So we'll have Dr. Shanta Kumari president's message video first, followed by the talks. Shriman, let's have the video.
Dear friends, Foxians, and the women of my country, I am Dr. Shanta Kumari, President of the Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecological Societies of India. As a doctor and a woman myself, I have observed very closely how prevalent violence against women is across the strata of our society and the enormous impact it has on the health of our women. My theme for the year as the President Foxy is Foxy for all always, and DHEERA, Stop Violence Against Women.
Dr. Shanta Kumari, who has relentlessly campaigned for the issues of girl child. I was happy to be the ambassador of Foxy Figure Ox in 2013, and I hope that me being an ambassador has motivated a lot of girls and many families.
Violence against women is a serious human rights violation, leading to injury and sometimes even death. Unfortunately, 1 in 3 women experience some sort of physical and sexual violence during their lifetime. Violence in pregnancy is also widely prevalent, leading to unwanted pregnancies, unsafe abortions, neglected pregnancies with no antenatal care, all these contributing to maternal morbidity and near miss. As obstetricians and gynecologists, we have a great opportunity to assess and support women who experience violence. Because of the unique opportunity where we get to see them during the pregnancy, during the family planning visits, during their annual checkups, and multiple other times when they come to us. I strongly believe that by eliminating the violence against women, we are not only reaching the SDG goals, but also creates a just and equal society for our women. Until we make men and boys active partners, we can never end the violence against women. In an endeavor to sensitize our own fraternity, my initiative of DHEERA was started to eliminate violence against women.
I completely support her vision and mission as President Foxy and also especially support her campaign, DHEERA, Stop Violence Against Women.
It was in 2016 at the launch of DHEERA. We brought together the police, the obstetrician gynecologists, the National Commission for Women, the women and men on one single platform to wear orange and say no to violence against women. We organized the public forum and cyclothon to launch DHEERA. In 2017 at the Foxy Figo Congress, we partnered with men and organized the bikeathon and the flash mob. The high point of DHEERA was at the International Figo Congress at Rio, Brazil in 2018. The declaration on no to violence against women was signed with Figo and WHO. It was here global societies pledged their support to end this violence against women. The DHEERA campaign and march at the World Congress of Figo in Rio in 2018 got wide international publicity. No change is possible unless the young minds adopt it and make it a part of their life. Young minds are open and creative. They accept change. Foxy has always worked with adolescents for their health and well-being. DHEERA this year adds a new page. I'm happy to share with you all that we are launching the DHEERA online school certification course across the length and breadth of our country in all the schools. Foxy for all always. DHEERA, Stop Violence Against Women.
That was our President, Dr. Shanta Madam. So, children, today we have 6 topics covering the various issues of violence against women. So, the first 3 will be what is violence against women and also what is DHEERA program. That would be the first talk taken by Dr. Shailaja. And again, second, types of violence against women, again by Dr. Shailaja. And third topic, how to manage, will be taken by Dr. Padmaja and followed by the next 3 talks. So without further delay, Dr. Shailaja will go with the first.
Yeah. Padmaja madam, you are sharing for me. Good morning, students and teachers. I am Dr. Shailaja from Vijayawada Gynec Society. Today we have joined here to tell you something about DHEERA program, which is targeting violence against women, saying no to violence against women, which is an initiative, as Dr. Shanta Kumari told you, President of Federation of Gynecological Societies of India, which comprises 36,000 gynecologists, all of us together. have come to schools all over India to tell you about DHEERA program and what. Next, ma'am. In the 6 sessions, we'll be telling you what is work, what is DHEERA, types of work, how do we manage it, and about peer pressure. You must have done registration and pre-test before starting this session. After all the sessions are completed, you have to fill the post-test. The same questionnaire which you had in the pre-test will be given again. You have to fill that and fill your feedback form and submit it. Then only you'll be getting the attendance certificate from Foxy and UNICEF. What exactly is DHEERA? DHEERA means courageous. There is a lot of power in being together. We used to study in our childhood that a single stick can be broken, but a bunch of sticks, it is difficult to break. Similarly, if we all come together, there is a lot of power in it. And as Ford Alcabro said, not all men practice violence against women, but every woman who goes out every single day, anywhere on this earth, lives with the threat of male violence. She is scared that somewhere, some male will subject her to some form of violence. It is, you are reading about rights and duties in your civics subject. Violence against women is a gross violation all over the world of human rights. It has both short-term and long-term effects. Women are affected physically, economically, psychologically, and whatever capacity they have to participate in society and make their contribution, this violence against women is preventing them from completely participating in society and making their contribution. And it has a huge impact on society. And since the last 1.5 to 2 years, we have been having this COVID pandemic, which resulted in lockdowns. It reduced our mobility. It isolated.
Shailaja, just stop for a moment. They're not getting the audio. They're just checking what is wrong. Just
okay. We'll go back to the first slide, ma'am.
They'll tell us. Just a moment. Sajana, you can Handri Ram Reddy ani name undi kada akkada unmute chestara okkasari chuddam. You're muted. You can talk to us directly there. Can you hear us now?
They're still muted.
Yeah. Sajana is
She's on phone with you, madam.
She just gave a call and told that they're sorting it out. Handri Ram Reddy ani computer which was logged in. You can unmute that, Sajna. I wonder if they could hear the video of madam.
Yeah.
They would have told us it was a long అంటే చాలా సేపు అయింది కదా మేడం మొదటి మధ్యలో ఎక్కడో ఆడియో బ్రేక్ అయినట్టుంది.
అదే
ఇంకొక సిస్టమ్ లోంచి లాగిన్ ట్రై చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది?
The audio visuals ఇప్పుడు కూడా till the whole program is done, they're always prone to error.
No problem, because there's nothing to kind of.
Yeah.
Ajay sir just put up a message that they have uploaded the software. So I'll make each session 200 Kiranmay madam for Dudupudi school.
Yeah. Yes.
I can
Sir
finish in
has
3
been.
sessions. There are 600 students. I can finish in 3 sessions.
Yeah. We are able to see them.
Yeah, we're able to see them, but they're not able to hear us.
You are audible.
They
The
said, ma'am,
message
you're
వచ్చింది
audible and
కొత్త chat.
message at their chat box.
Oh, then start.
Video,
Chat
what we do is video we can play in the end if they have not heard.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
start from the first slide and then
From
we'll go ahead. And
yeah, I'm just
further-
asking from which slide I'm asking so that I can go back. I think essentially we can start off.
Yes, ma'am.
Start, no problem.
Overlap
Start
so
again.
much is there, kada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start off saying there is overlap.
Women.
Violence against women is a violation of the basic human right to live without fear. It's there all over the world. It has consequences, both short term and long term. The female is affected physically, economically, and psychologically. Whatever capacity a girl or a woman has to participate and contribute to society, their full capacity is prevented by this violence, and it has a huge impact on society. And since the last 1.5 years, in view of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have had lockdowns, which has reduced our mobility, and it has increased our isolation. It has increased the stress on women and their economic uncertainty, and this has led to an alarming increase in domestic violence. You must have seen somewhere women being beaten, threatened, scolded at home, school, or your neighborhood. Do you really think this is right? And is there any particular word to describe this behavior? What exactly is this behavior called? It is called violence against women. Wow. It is the most shameful human rights violation. We should be ashamed that it happens in our society, and it has no boundaries of geography. It is found in all the countries all over the world, in all types of cultures, in the rich families, poor families, everywhere woman is being subjected to violence. As long as this violence continues against women, there can't be really any progress towards equality of humanity, or development in the society, or peace in the society. You see this picture, ostensibly it shows a woman and a man dancing together happily, but if you see the background, you can see how the woman is being subjected to fear. The man is forcing her to live in fear, mentally, sexually, and physically. What are the roots of this strong tree which has settled in our societies? There are various reasons which have led to this violence against women. I'll be dealing with each one of them one by one. Gender bias. See how the man is put up in a high place and woman is being pushed down because of the preference for males in our society, where girls are considered burdens. Even before a girl is born, when she is in her mother's womb, she is being killed through feticide, and even after she is born, immediately infants are being killed if they are females. How shameful. They are neglecting the health issues of the female. What is patriarchy? This is one of the reasons for war. Our society system since time immemorial has been such that men have held the power to make decisions. You must have seen at your home, your father or your brother taking decisions regarding where you should go, whom you should meet, how much you can spend and what you can spend on. All decisions are being taken by males in our families. There is gender stereotyping in our family since generations. Girls are supposed to be faithful, emotional, they are supposed to tolerate, being sympathetic and dependent on somebody. Lifelong, women have been forced to be dependent on either their fathers, brothers, or husbands after marriage and later on their sons. Boys are expected to be competitive, be logical, strategic, have an aggressive mentality, and stay independent. This is not correct. Irrespective of male or female gender, the males can also express their emotions, cry out their fears, their sorrows, which is not accepted in our society, which is wrong. Sexism, because of the male prejudice, there certain stereotypes have been established that females should be like this and they are discriminated against based on sex. If you people can think of any examples of such sexism, we would like you to chat or type in the chat box and interact with us. Toxic masculinity, that male feeling of I am very strong, I don't cry, I am the boss always, I can control every situation, I am the savior of these females. This is wrong. It is okay for a male to reach out for help when he needs it, and mental health of both males and females matters. It is wrong to suppress your emotions simply because you have been told that you cannot express your emotions. Why we lady doctors, we gynecologists have come here to talk about what? Because we are the first point of contact when a female is brought to us for any health issues. We recognize the changes in the lifestyle of the female depending on her health issues, because serious health problems during pregnancy or otherwise have their roots in violence against women. We recognize that there is some change in the lifestyle of the woman. She is being subjected to emotional or physical or sexual harassment, which results in her health issues. So we interact with the family. We are the first point of contact, and we have a chance to counsel them that this is a wrong way to treat a female. Why DHEERA? This campaign was started by our president, Foxy, Dr. Shanta Kumari. It's her been brainchild since the last 6 years. She has done extensive groundwork to stop violence against women at national and international levels. This war campaign is having the target of sensitizing 5 lakh boys and girls from 9th to 12th class and 15,000 teachers through our 36,000 member obstetricians and gynecologists. You must also teach your son to respect women. He will follow whatever we show him in our home, in our schools. He's waiting and watching. Please remember, he's listening to every word we are speaking. We must put in their brain that they must respect women. It is our target to put 1 lakh tweets in the Twitter, #DHEERA together. Please tweet and let us add our courageous voice to this conversation and say no to violence against women together. As I told you previously, I'm repeating again, you have to finish the post-test and feedback form after completion of all the sessions, and then only a certificate will be awarded by UNICEF and Foxy. We'll go ahead with the next session, Kiranmay ma'am. Yeah.
One moment, I'm just getting it.
Yeah, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. In my first session, I told you what exactly is war. Now we'll be discussing how many types of war are there. It can be physical, psychological, or a combination of both. I'll be dealing with all of them one by one. I'm repeating again, you must complete the post-test and feedback form after all of us complete our sessions. Then only certificate will be awarded to you. Coming to physical violence. Do you recognize this girl? This is Lakshmi Agarwal, on whose life the Chapak movie is based. At a tender age of 15 years in 2005, she was approached by a 32-year-old male with sexual advances, which she refused. For that simple refusal, acid was put on her face and her face was damaged, for which she required multiple surgeries, and she went through a lot of physical and emotional turmoil. How shameful this is. Hasn't she got the right to say no to any advance? This is a form of assault which is sometimes used as a form of blackmail. What can you do if an attack is threatened or attempted? Number one, you must remember is you must report it to any adult you trust. It can be your teacher, your parents, your sisters, brothers, or the police. And make sure that you stay away from the person who is threatening you with this. Always travel in groups. Indian Penal Code section 326B ensures a punishment of 5 to 7 years for anybody who is threatening or causing a physical attack on a female, and they are liable to fine. If you are attacked, make sure to get treatment as soon as possible. Talk to your parents, teachers, any elder you trust, and make sure you stay away from the perpetrator of that crime. Section 326A can be charged if you report the attack to the authorities, and it can lead to imprisonment not less than 10 years, which may extend to imprisonment for life. Fine is charged to meet the medical expenses of the victim also. What is honor killing? A girl is completed 18 years. She has been given a right by our constitution to choose whom she wants to marry, whom she wants to meet. But once she decides to get married to a
Sailaja, we lost you. Can you refresh your page?
Some internet issue, I think.
Yeah.
I'll call her once. She's just logging in.
Yeah. Unmute, Celia. Yes. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Next slide, ma'am.
Honor killing.
Where a girl after completion of 18 years is given the right to decide whom she wants to marry, and she decides that she wants to live with a particular person. The family, on the pretext that the guy is not of the same financial status or same caste, are killing the girl or boy. This they are using to protect the reputation.
Shailaja.
Next slide, ma'am.
Yeah, just switch off your video. I think the connection will improve.
Can you hear me?
Voice is
There is some break in the voice.
So switch off the video and continue audio.
Yes,
Stop
ma'am.
the video and continue.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. What is femicide? It's a gender-based crime which arises when society prefers males over females. Like inside the womb of the mother itself, a fetus is killed if they come to know that it's a female. Even after the baby is born, a newborn baby, such tender age, is being killed simply because she is a female. They want a mother, a sister, but they don't want a daughter. They want sons. How shameful of us. Females are being sexually assaulted in multiple ways, where a man touches a woman or compels her to get naked forcefully without her consent. This is punishable under Section 354 IPC with up to 5 years of punishment and fine. Why don't they understand that a sexual assault causes such long-term mental trauma to the victim? She takes a lot of time to come out of that mental trauma and become normal again. If you see sexual assault taking place, you should stop it or call help, even if the abuser is your own friend. You remember the Nirbhaya episode in Delhi, which resulted in the Nirbhaya Act in 2013. Section 375 IPC protects women against any type of rape, and 354A IPC protects against sexual harassment and unwanted physical contact. Every girl, woman has a right to say no to contact which she doesn't like. Next. If you are a survivor of any form of violence against you, do not shame yourself. You are not to blame. Do not clean or bath yourself immediately, and don't change your clothes. Just write down what happened and inform your adults, inform the police, and report in a timely manner so that there is evidence. Preserve any evidence you have got against it. Don't be afraid to speak up. You are never at fault, and an abuser is bound to repeat actions if you don't report about them. Coming to psychological violence, there is financial manipulation in many families. A woman is either not allowed to work, or even if she works, her bank accounts are controlled. She has to take the permission of her husband or in-laws to spend even a single rupee. Madam, they are again saying they can't hear.
There must be a issue there itself.
Yeah. You're not able to unmute, Padmaja madam.
Mala, we can't unmute them.
We can't. They have to unmute themselves.
I have unmuted.
Yes.
Are you able to hear us? Can you hear us?
Sajna madam, can you hear us? No reply.
So I think their connectivity also must be coming and going.
Dropping it.
Yeah. Dr. Sajna, we can do one more thing. You can log in your cell. The picture will be coming on the screen, and hold the mic close to the cell, putting the speaker voice maximum with the cell. So that also we can do.
Ma'am, are they able to hear what we are speaking now?
Okay, maybe if they can't, I'll give madam a call.
I tried to call her, she didn't receive.
Yeah, they can do that because Sajna cell, you hold the mic here, the audio will this and the screen, I'm sure they're able to see. Do we have any other contact number at that school? Okay, we'll ask.
Yeah, I'm trying to call. There is a teacher's number.
Okay. So even with this mic near the cell also, we can continue.
They're able to hear now, madam.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Continue.
Financial manipulation, where a woman is either not allowed to work, or even if she works, she's not allowed control over her income. She has to take permission from her in-laws, her husband, to spend a single penny. What can she do? What are your thoughts when you come across such a situation? Please type in the chat box. Next. A woman is many a times emotionally abused, wherein her sense of worth is constantly undermined by constant criticism. Like the partner or males who are interacting with her overreact for small things. They dispute every opinion of the woman, make them feel guilty for small things, try to control them, telling them how to dress, what to wear, when to wear, humiliating or embarrassing them in front of public, using kids to blackmail them, threatening to hurt themselves for small reasons. Like, you feel nothing you do or say is good enough. Some of you must have faced these situations. You must have started blaming yourself. 1 second, madam.
What happened?
No, madam. Sajna madam called. That's why.
Oh.
They are able to hear. No issue.
Okay. Right.
I'm giving you an example where Shreya is married to Ashok. He faces some issues at his workplace. His ego gets hurt. He takes out that frustration on his wife by drinking alcohol, shouting at her frequently, breaking things, yelling, blackmailing of divorcing her. This constant fault-finding behavior takes it all on her mental health. She gets affected mentally, blames herself for everything which goes wrong. This is a type of violence against women. You must have heard about bullying at schools or what is called ragging in colleges. Continuously, a student is harassed either verbally or physically or online through cyberbullying. In an example where a senior comes to a girl, asks her out, she refuses, his ego gets hurt. To fulfill that pride, he starts up a rumor that Ria is a bad girl, starts harassing her every day with his friends, calling her ugly and such derogatory terms. He keeps throwing eggs at her house and with his friends pours water on her homework, provokes all his friends into teasing her whenever they see her. When you see such behavior taking place, what do? How do you help that girl? Whom you have to contact? If you have any thoughts, please interact with us. All of you have been having online classes since the last 1.5 years, have been using your devices. Cyberbullying is an online form of abusing you, where technology is used to write embarrassing or hateful messages in order to harass you, shame you, or control you. It includes threatening text messages, creation of embarrassing images or videos by Photoshop, sharing them, or creating fake accounts in your name, stealing your online identity, sharing sexually explicit messages, excluding you from groups where online groups are formed, or damaging your reputation by gossiping about you, impersonating you, or harassing you online. Any such activity comes under cyberbullying and it is punishable. And unfortunately, females are twice more likely to undergo cyberbullying. What can you do if you're doing cyberbullying? You can get in contact with the customer service representatives if confused, but make sure you take the screenshot of those messages or record the video or audio which they are trying to send. Approach the cyber cell. Once you report to the cyber cell from any city, they will track that person's accounts and see what they are posting, what their messages they are passing on, and stringent action will be taken against them after lodging FIR. Have you ever come across stalking where a person follows you wherever you go, repeatedly trying to contact a woman without her consent, which can occur physically or digitally? Like he tries to find out which tuitions you're taking, which dance classes or yoga classes you're attending. He tries to join the same class, and his friends start to encourage him, seeing movies, thinking that this is a heroic behavior. This is not heroic behavior. This is punishable under section 354D IPC, up to 3 years of imprisonment, and they can be liable to fine. It is wrong to make a girl feel uncomfortable with such activity. What is voyeurism? The watching or taking pictures of women when she is nude, when she is changing clothes or taking bath without her consent. Any picture, even if you are not nude, taken without your consent is punishable. You must report it. The person can be imprisoned for up to 3 years of first mistake. If he repeats the same mistake, they can be imprisoned up to 7 years for voyeurism. Eve teasing. This is very common, seen outside, seen in our movies, and the guy feels he's a hero teasing that girl. He makes unwanted remarks, makes sexual advances to insult her in a public place. This Eve teasing is punishable under section 294 IPC. No man has a right to speak in an obscene way. He can be punished from 3 months to 3 years if he acts like this. Criminally intimidating a woman, threatening to cause death or grievous hurt, or threatening to destroy her property is punishable under section 503 IPC with imprisonment for up to 5 years or a fine or both of them. Unwelcome sexual advances or requests for sexual favors, any sexual remarks, showing pornography without consent, all these constitute sexual harassment. They can be reported under section 354A IPC and it is punishable up to 3 years. Please do not keep such activity to yourself feeling ashamed. Any such activity, anything done to you without your consent has to be reported. You have every right to say no. Next slide. A combination of this physical, psychological, and sexual harassment occurs at our home ground in domestic violence. Doesn't just have to be a married couple. Anybody harassing a girl at home, physically or psychologically or sexually, any pattern of behavior used to gain or maintain power or control over the partner comes under domestic violence. Here the tragedy is most of the victims of domestic violence do not realize that they are being abused. It becomes hard for them to believe that a trusted partner could be so manipulative. This harassment can also be from in-laws. Examples of these domestic violence are trying to control them economically, using coercion or threats, intimidating them by constantly criticizing them, using emotional blackmail, isolating them, denying them and blaming them for everything which goes wrong, using children to blackmail them, using the male privilege to control them. By this, they try to control the woman in domestic violence. It becomes a vicious cycle. Once they start abusing us, we keep tolerating it. At some point of time, we explode and speak against it. Immediately, they'll apologize, they'll break down, they'll say, we'll not repeat this, please excuse us. We say, okay, this is the first time we are excusing. That period of honeymoon is very short. The cycle repeats again. They become abusive again. They start abusing again. We feel like we are walking on eggshells. This vicious cycle has to be broken at some point of time. In 2005, the Domestic Violence Act was brought into vogue. It covers physical, sexual, verbal, and economic abuse. Nobody has a right to even verbally abuse a woman at home. There is no physical harm done to her, but she's continuously tortured psychologically by verbal abuse. If you report such abuse, immediate protection is granted to you, and the abuser can be punished with imprisonment up to 3 years. Bringing an end to this violence against women, we have to take one step at a time. That's why we have come here to sensitize and train you what exactly is wrong and what we can do about it. Our next speaker will be dealing with. I'm repeating again, you have to fill the post test and submit the feedback form after the completion of this entire session. Then only you will be sent the certificate by UNICEF and Foxy. Let us all tweet together, #DHEERA together, and add our courageous voice to the 1 lakh tweets, which is our target, saying no to violence against women. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shailaja. Hope you are all able to hear now without any disturbance. Dr. Padmaja, you carry on with the next. Are you able to hear properly? Are you able to hear? Yes, yes. You are muted, Padmaja.
In spite of the interruptions, we are going ahead. Let me just get the thing moved.
Not able to see it, yes. Yeah.
No?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So you've just heard Dr. Shailaja tell you about what is vow, what are the types of vow. We don't really expect you to memorize all these IPC sections. It was just told so that you know that you have the law to protect you, and what I'm going to be dealing with, what are the management strategies? How do you go about it? Here we will tell you also the role of the bystanders and how we can bridge the gender divide. As Dr. Shailaja has already told you, you've done the registration and the pre-test. After the program is over, please finish the post-test. Give us your feedback about how better you would like us to do this, so that because we're doing it as an ongoing program for the entire school all over the country. Dr. Shailaja had touched upon what contributes to vow. The roots of the issue is that there has always been how a difference in how we treat women and men. We don't treat them as a human being, like how we say, like everywhere all over the world, we are supposed to treat people as human beings. But then there are some discriminations that occur. So they say they're white, they're black, they're Chinese, chinky. So words like that, these societal discriminations in the same way also have negative connotations, dividing that male and female, that gender bias will be there. And with increasing stress in the society, there are a lot of anger issues. And when boys are treated, males are treated as wanted sex, superiority, they have less compassion towards the other people. Troubled childhood, when the situation in which they're growing up is not very conducive, and the whole situation is aggravated by the increasing use of alcohol and availability of drugs. So the seeds for violence are sown in childhood and define how an adult behaves. And watching this adult behavior, the other children follow it, and that's how it becomes a vicious cycle. And we have started this program because we believe that behavioral patterns in childhood can be changed and make a better society. You might not be directly subjected to violence, but you might know someone who is being abused. So this awareness is that what to do if you notice something off. First thing is, don't be afraid. If someone is saying, there is a change in your friend, someone, that change, suddenly they become very introvert. There's a change in the behavior. Basically, encourage them to come forward, listen to them, reassure them to stay brave, believe in their story. Don't blame them, telling that, what did you do to incite this situation? So keep an eye on the situation so that it is not dangerous. Offer them immediate help, and most importantly, report to a higher authority, whether it is your teacher, parent, or police. If they're not willing to come forward immediately, respect that decision, but keep the resources to keep the conversation going so that whatever we do will not harm you or the victim. Unfortunately, if you're the one who is being abused, we hope it never ever happens to you. But if it happens, you need to know what you need to do. Recognize that abuse is happening because of the toxic behavior of the person involved. So protect yourself from leaving the vicinity. Avoid aggravating the situation. Most importantly, report the incident. Keep evidence by recording it or photographing it. If you're having in home such a situation, or the place that you're working in, or in your school, make sure that you have a safety kit with some emergency clothes, some emergency phone numbers, so that you can use that in case of an emergency. And importantly, let someone you know close to you, a friend, your neighbor, your doctor is always there, or a police officer, about the abuse. And remember, speaking out is the first step. And we know that in these situations, it's very hard to come out. It is very difficult. But don't let the person who is abusing rob you of your voice. And stand up, because the abuser is essentially a bully and they're afraid of your voice. So it is important to break the silence. And if you don't report, this gives the abuser authority over you, and it will cause another generation of victims. So don't let yourself become another victim. And if someone tells you about it, don't blame the victim. Believe in the victim. We might not be directly involved in an abuse, but if he's silent, then we are also perpetuating this cycle. So stand up for justice, and don't forget that people who commit abuse are prone to doing it again. So now we have technology available to us. Familiarize yourself and download these safety apps. There is Smart Shahar, With You, Scream Alarm. There is always a suspect's registry with the police. You can have Abhaya for legal advice and be safe. Whenever you're going somewhere, if you have to travel alone, share your live location. Take a picture of your taxi driver and the license plate and immediately share it. Then they will know that you are alert, and in case of an emergency, you can activate this location and app, and you're unlikely to be abused or taken for a ride. We want you to pay attention to this. So this is a universal distress signal. In this, what is happening is you have, oh, you're not getting that. I want all of you to hold up your hand towards the camera. Yes. Tuck in the thumb, fold your fingers. So this is a universal distress signal. If you see someone doing this, suppose someone is in a house, there is some violent act going on, but they can't communicate with you directly. So if someone is standing in the window and showing this, it indicates that they're asking for help. So what do you do if you see the distress signal? First, knock on the door, go in and check and ask, are you safe? Find out what you can do. And if you think there is a danger, the situation is very bad, call for helplines with the local police. Helplines are always manned. 100 is the police. Women distress is 1091. So you start with 1, 10 and 9. And these women's domestic abuse helpline is 181. You can have your local police station and NGOs. There are other helplines for commission, for, and you can report gender-based violence. If there is a domestic violence in a house, you can't think that if there is a violence going on, it is their internal affair. They're a husband and wife, they can do whatever they want. The husband can abuse the wife. That is not acceptable. No violence is acceptable against any woman in any form, whether it is physical or abusive in nature. So we have women's Stop Women Abuse by 088 150 150. You can have for violence 08810 10 followed by 11 and 1. Child abuse helpline is 10 followed by 98. So 1098. It's easy to remember these numbers. So for reporting, what do? You report the incident to a local police or a unit, get the recording done within 24 hours, go to a hospital or shelter home, have an exam, take the person who is abused to be examined by the medical doctor and record the statement in front of a magistrate, and the justice will be served fast. There's a special court with complete trial within a year, in which all those IPC sections are there, and we have help where the abuser will be put away for 3 to 10 years and even up to life. So we need to remember that girls are strong. We need to keep it that way. And reminding you once again, you've already done the registration and the pre-test. Please do the post-test, give us the feedback, and we will know how best to continue with this. And let's all tweet together and let us get 1 lakh votes at the rate of DHEERA together. Courageously, let us say no to violence against women, and your voice, the conversation going. Thank you very much for listening. So the take home in this is that if there is abuse, report it. Reporting child line is 1098. If you see the universal distress signal, respond immediately. And if necessary, you can use the signal and you will get help. Okay. I will go ahead with the other presentation also.
Can we, madam?
Yeah, actually, this is the time when we have some interaction or
yes,
some,
great. Anyone wants to come forward, say anything, we are
you're most welcome.
yes.
Rashna madam, any student? One boy or girl, come forward and speak what you have understood till now.
Or any experience, any of their opinions, any examples.
Morning.
When Dr. Shailaja was talking about voyeurism, I got reminded of one movie, a very, very super hit movie. Can anyone tell? Got a sequel also.
In all languages also.
In all languages also.
Madam, they look like studious kids, not like us.
I think this is a quiz question, Actually, that movie showcased what all can happen, and the sequel showcased the stigma the girl faced, the parents face, and how much trouble both the families undergo. It's a quiz question and a prize for
You
whoever
can
gets it.
answer which movie is it, which showed voyeurism.
Voyeurism as the crime, and then the whole movie, 2 sequels have come. I mean, 1 and 2. No one? No one?
There are 2 studios, ma'am.
2 stories, huh? ఎవరు గెస్ చేయలేరా మూవీ ఏంటో? వాయరిజం అంటే వీడియో తీసి బ్లాక్మెయిల్ చేసి సతాయించి ఇంటికి వచ్చి ఇంకా చెప్తున్నా క్లూస్. Be free. It's not a serious class. We are not your teachers. No marks, no exams. All you get is a good certificate. చెప్తారా ఎవరైనా?
Moving of striped shirt abbaya.
No, they want to say. Very good. ఏ మూవీ? Not able to hear.
We are not able to hear. You can put it up in the chat box.
Chat box.
We have that chat box open.
Yeah, they put in
Yeah,
up in
they're
the
putting
chat
it in. That's what. Yes, that's it. Wow, got it.
Drishyam 1 and 2.
Yes, that's good. So the previously all these things were extremely taboo, but now with the
They're having movies. Yes.
incidents, we are talking about it, and even the movie Thappad is made on
Slap.
so slap. The movie is made on the concept of no. So we're coming out with that.
Please mute your.
Yeah.
No, the Pink movie, madam, I was reminded when we tell the concept of
Yes,
consent.
consent.
Pink movie is totally taken on the concept of consent. When he says, you say no, it means no only. It has no other meaning.
Actually, it showed various aspects of consent. Reversible it was, then your
Yes.
history, your previous behavior.
Beautiful movie showing
Beautiful
consent
movie,
aspects.
consent. Is Pink. I think they must
Those
have
of you who
watched
haven't seen
Telugu
these
version
movies,
also.
Pink,
Telugu.
Thappad, go back and see those movies. They are
Pavan
worth
Kalyan
watching.
movie also they must have watched. Pink.
So
Carry on, Dr. Padmaja, with the next.
So till now we knew about how what are the types of violence, management strategies. So in this 10 minutes, I'm going to talk about bystanders. You've already done the registration and pre-test. Do finish your post-test and give us the feedback. And even now in the chat box, you can keep giving your feedback when there is noise. We will look up and talk about it more. And a bystander is a person who's seeing the act of violence, not directly the perpetrator, not the person who is being abused. So quite a large number of times, so when we are a population of so many people, when we are there, why is there so much violence? It is because everyone thinks and does not interfere. A little amount of social inhibition is there. We don't know what the other people will think if we intervene. And we are worried like, will there be an attack even against us? We find excuses. Okay, someone else will help. I'm late for work. Let me just go. But that is not what we want. We want active participation of everyone to take action, to try to stop it, stand up with the person who is being abused, speak out and act. And for that, we have 5 weapons in our hand, the 5 Ds. First thing you need to do is find a subtle and safe way to intervene and to interrupt and disrail the incidents like by distraction. What you can do, if there is a hot argument going on, you see an aggressive male person against a woman who is little hesitant to speak out and who's looking terrified. You can pretend to be lost. You can walk up to them and tell, what is this address? Where is this mall? Do you know a shop nearby? Is there a medical shop? I'm looking for this hospital. You can pretend to know the person being harassed. You can ask her, Sunita, what are you doing here? Ask anything irrelevant, but take the attention of the harasser. Delay the situation so that the severity becomes less. Ask the victim if she is okay. Offer to sit with her for a while or accompany her to a close, a safer place. And not only do you actively take part, also call for help from the bystanders. If there is a shop nearby, ask the shopkeeper for help. In a bus, you can ask the bus conductor or co-passenger to help. Call for help from the third party and ask them to call up the resources. Tell them, please call an ambulance, please call a police. And if in school, I'm sure your teachers will be there to help you immediately. It is important to, because memory is something that is very vague. What we saw, what we witnessed, we need to assess the situation. And is anyone helping? If not, you go and help. Assess your safety first. You can stand aside and discreetly start recording on your cell phone, and always ask the person who's harassed what to do with the recording. Do they want to show it to the police? Do they want to share it? Never post it online without the consent of the person who is being victimized. Publicizing another person's traumatic experience is absolutely no way to help them. It will make them more depressed, and it might be pushing them to a visibility that they do not want. And whenever the direct response is that you tell the abuser, confront them and tell, this is abuse. It is not tolerated in a respectable society. But be aware, the harasser might redirect their behavior towards you. So avoid escalating the situation, but be clear, confident, cautious. Golden rule: intervene if it is safe. If it is not safe, call the police at 100, or you can call a child helpline, which is answered 24/7 at 1098. And there are lots of ways to be involved. If someone is helping, then always show appreciation, call for claps by everyone, all help. And you can organize actions like writing stories, making posters, doing a street drama in your vicinity, so that everyone is aware that this sort of behavior is not acceptable. And if you know an organization, donate your time and ideas. If you give us ideas, we will go ahead with that. But remember, the victim should never be blamed. We should not be saying things like, why did you go out at night? Why did you park the scooter there? Why did you go alone? Why did you call your sister instead of the police? The person who is being abused is not at fault. And as we've told you, the post-test and your feedback are very important to us. Once you do this, you will get a certificate from FOGSI and from UNICEF. And this will be a feather in your cap regarding the extracurricular activities that you can show in your CV. So let us stay courageous together, say no to violence against women, tweeting more than 100,000 times at the rate of DHEERA together. So add your voice to the conversation, because only when we break the silence, only when we confront the abuser will this stop. Thank you very much for listening. And Dr. Sajna, are you going to take the next two talks? Can we have any feedback from the teachers, what they feel about the program? We have some teachers there.
Yeah, we have the teachers. Maybe at the end of the session, I'll try to get the feedback.
Oh, okay, madam. Shall I?
No, madam, you want us to share, or you share the PPTs?
I think we can take up here, Dr. Shankar.
You
can
want
share
me to
from
do?
your side, madam?
Yeah, I have the PPTs here.
Oh,
Okay, ma'am.
so you can share.
The screen can be projected for us, okay, let them go on as it is convenient to them.
Yeah. When they share screen, we will also be able to see.
Yes. Good morning once again to you all. So after my beloved President Dr. Shantakumari's beautiful message and my national coordinator Dr. Ajay and Dr. Kiran, my interaction with you all, my co-speakers Dr. Shailja and Dr. Padmja already addressed you in 2 seconds. That is, we all must be aware by now what is DHEERA, what are the types of DHEERA, how to manage, and what are the roles of a vice chair. I'm sure I just want to tell you, you'll be coming across certain words like what is gender stereotyping, what is violence, what is sexism. Maybe it might be a bit difficult for you to understand even the concept itself. If at all you have any doubts regarding this, you can put it in your chat box or in the feedback paper or maybe to your teacher. We will definitely try to address you all. Okay? So we have come to the 3rd session, which has 2 parts. Bridging the gender divide in the last session will be completely done. Okay? So, bridging the gender divide. So before that, I reinforce you all who have already been done field test and registration is mandatory for this session, for this mission, where you be.
And it's like they have started sharing, but we can't see Kadam.
Dr. Sajan, can you hear me?
We can
hear you.
Started sharing. We can't see your screen.
You're projecting directly there. You're not sharing on Zoom.
Screen sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started. Yes, madam. We can see now.
Once again, registration and pre-tests are mandatory, and after this session, we'll be handing over post-test and feedback, where you'll be awarded with your beautiful certificate, where you're going to get DHEERA wire. Okay? Now, so what is the gender divide? What is the gender division? So it is a discrimination between the gender. Let me put it in a simple way. Okay, where men will be given more better facilities or better employment choices or better. Yeah. Am I audible to you all, my dear children? Yeah, okay. So where the gender-based discrimination, where the other gender will be given more priority. So the first slide you are saying certain name Shiva or Gundan. Does it always say that Shiva is a male all the time or Shiva is a girl all the time? So I have a gender who is Shivama and also
slides are not changing.
Driver who is Shiva. So it is not gender based, okay? And then does all these traits really characterize a male or a female? Do you always say that males are always active? Or males are very competent? Or males are creative? Or males are emotional? Or anybody leader means it's always male? No, I don't think so. It can be either way, you see? So is it that males are always mechanical or females are mechanical? So you have to think in a way that is it creative means, is that right? That really says that it is only a male or female? You have to think and you put it in your feedback form. So gender stereotyping. It is so much ingrained in our society with gender stereotyping. Why are we saying that? See, you'll be seeing that most of the media and films, they only reward this violent male behavior or violent boy behavior. And also you see at home, the parents will be punishing more with the sons than with the daughters. Saying that, Ammai kotte em pattarle, abbai like pitfall chesta untaru, abbai like strong ga untaru, we have to punish them. All these things, they are so ingrained in our society, this gender stereotyping, which is a serious obstacle for gender equality, this gender stereotyping, okay? And also parents are more like, previous slide. Parents are more likely to tolerate violent behavior in boys than in girls, which is not acceptable. And also, when girls show certain opinions or when they show some leadership qualities, we always think they are bossy. We don't think that they are more responsible. So what do you think is gender bias in social living? Yes. To my mind, I think it's a social evil. I already said that this gender stereotyping is a serious obstacle for the gender equality. Okay. So in our society, women are oppressed officially and unofficially. So this discrimination starts when girls are expected to do household chores all the time, behave submissively. And women are expected to leave work to raise kids. Male babies are preferred over female babies. Workplace discrimination. At work for pregnant women to be fined and massive wage gain. So if you go to the field, you see, if you're working whole day, the female will be given 500, the male will be given 700. So you have so much discrimination between the wages also. So we need to understand that no woman is free from sexual harassment, such as teasing and catcalling. I'm sure you all know catcalling. What is catcalling? So women are called goddesses, but even if simple mistakes they have done, they will be discriminated. They themselves feel that, have you done such a big mistake? So we always expect that women need not be treated as goddesses just as a female and your part, like human beings. So level playing field. Usually, let me put it in a simple word. If you are having two teams, each team should be given equal roles and responsibility for the success and progression. So it should not be a level playing field. Why are we saying that? You will be knowing in some countries, women don't have a right even to vote now. It's very pathetic situation. We are fortunate to have vote, but there are certain countries where they cannot even step outside, where they have no right to vote, or they can't even voice their feelings, okay? And then they still do not have access to education. Child marriages and dowry system are very, very prevalent. So it's very unfortunate to understand that one man's voice is worth more than that of many women, which should not happen. Okay, women, they have very less access to the financial independence. So they are more dependent, even for a pie, even for buying simple medication, they have to be dependent on someone else. Okay, all this, we understand that it should be a level playing field. Okay. So most of the time you will see so many presidents of India, prime ministers of many countries will be males only rather than females. Okay. So to avoid this, what is that? All the genders have to work together as allies. Allies means a friend. Or when you are working together, you have to work like a friend. Then you have gender neutral or gender equal society. Okay. To eliminate this gender inequality in a society. So gender-based prejudice is not an issue of one gender. So when you are working together, you have to share in a cordial relationship. So, and the other important thing I want to insist is that, first of all, you should not have any idea to do bad things, evil things, or dirty things. It is not sufficient not only doing that. You must be thinking, why I don't have such type of behavior. Why should I sit and listen? All these things. It's not that, but you also should be committed to be taking 8 active steps. What are they? First thing you should not do. The second thing you should be able to take 5 active steps to make this society free of violence against women or gender equal society. What is that? The first thing is share the care. Women will be doing 3 times more work and they are unpaid most of the time in terms of domestic work than compared to men. And also women spend energy and emotional labor at home with family instead of going outside and widening their future career. They want to sacrifice themselves, their career for your safety. So in such case, just appreciate the work they were doing unconditionally for your sake. Just if at all they are not taking their food on time, you can just go off, you've been doing since morning. Why don't you take a couple of minutes rest? I'll feed you today. Just that simple thing. So you have to share the care and offer your help whenever there is If they're having simple body ache or headache, just do not hesitate to run and get it out for them. That's all. So also you have to share the care what they do. Encourage the women to take up their own interest. So they've been giving you unconditional health services to you. So you can find out the interest and you say, okay, this serial you want to watch. Why don't I be doing your work actually? Why don't you take a break and watch this serial for today? That's all, okay? And the other thing, you have to hold yourself accountable. That is very, very important. You have to respect boys and girls, men and women equally. You have to be aware, sensitive of your behavior when someone is trying to correct you, when someone is trying to tell you something. You have to be open for that. You have to be very adaptive. And if you're wrong, you have to change yourself, your toxic behavior. So you know what is this traditional masculinity? This is a Western term where most of the time the men think they are very dominant, they are very aggressive and they can do anything, they are good leaders. We have to change the traditional terms of traditional masculinity. You can, for example, don't cry, be strong manner. Okay? Treat everyone the same way regardless of gender. Allow yourself the freedom to break norms and challenge stereotype, gender stereotyping especially. So question those that do not allow you to challenge the stereotype, do not excuse men just because they are men. That is very, very important. So we all have to remember that it's not the masculine men, we have to make the sensible men fashionable, not the alpha men. Alpha men again is the same term where they think they are dominant, they are aggressive, they are good at everything. Okay, they are very strong. So we don't want traditional masculinity, we don't want alpha men. We want the sensitive men who will change the next generation. All is true. What is that? The box given in the blue is very true. Men do cry. Men do break down. They are anxious. They have emotions. Men feel insecure at times. Men also get abused. Let's support men. Let's encourage men. So men also struggle. If we can think, if we can understand these things, so these sensitive men can definitely change the next generation. So we always have to respect the other choice. That's very, very important. If you're not comfortable at one situation, at one circumstance, you have to think why it's so. You have to consider the circumstance or situation that makes others' life better or different from you. Do not judge or shame others for their choice. That is very, very important. Of course, you have to respect other choice. This is very, very important. Consent. For everything, girls and boys, always you have to understand to say no. You should be in a position to say no for yourself. Okay? If you're giving consent, that is yes. Yes means yes, no means no. What is this consent? Let us put it in this way, right? You have French fries or something like that. It should be freely given. If you want to go out for a movie, your friend asks, if you want to, you can go. That is, it should be freely given. And it should be reversed. Suddenly you plan for a movie and there is some guest coming to you, you want to stop that movie program. Yes, you can anytime. That should be reversible and informed. It should be informed to someone else. Your well-wishers, that is very, very important and specific. So if you're going for a movie, only it should be a movie. From there, it should not be to any cafeteria, or from where it should not be any place which you don't want. So that should be a concept. So I'm trying to put in a simple words so that you will understand. Okay? So all that phrases you have, no fuzzy to fuzzy. Don't think that. That means to say in Urdu and Hindi, it's understanding that if a girl is smiling, it's it. You have to comfort the girl. That's no more holding you. Okay? Boys will be boys is never acceptable. Never victim blame. Always respect the blame. That's what we have to understand. Call out sexism and harassment. Sexism, you need to understand sexism means, see, if you are thinking that, okay, this sex is superior always. Boys are always better than girls. That is called sexism. Okay, you have to call out the sexism and harassment. That is very, very important. If you are seeing that, you have to see it, name it, and stop it. Stop sexism. That is very, very important. All girls or women experience sexual harassment in at least once in their lifetime. This is very, very open. Most of the time they don't speak of. See, I myself have Dr. Bitter experience. You can have simple fingers and trying to put you. If you're going for a say or measurement, the guy, he might touch you in unwanted places where you might not appreciate. But you are scared to say, you are scared to speak out. That is nothing but sexual harassment. Or your aunt, your sister, somewhere in the society. My dear children, why I'm stressing you is that this is the time we have to change our generation. None of the girls or women of our society should suffer of this. Okay? That's what exactly we are trying to put you in simple practical words. Okay? So all women experience sexism once a week, saying that that gender or that sex is always superior to the other sex. Follow such behavior in a safe, respectful manner. Be an active bystander. Already Dr. Padmija said, what is the role of the bystander? You can be passive. You have to be active. Do not excuse friends or your family or relatives if they are doing certain rubbish things. You can excuse them. Tomorrow it might happen to us in our family, okay? Challenging gender stereotyping is very, very important. Questioning your own stereotyping and prejudice. Women are not good at driving. I myself come across many times even in my family saying that, oh, if one car is going slow in front of me, I keep and release it. Oh, a girl must be driving, a woman must be driving. That's not correct. It doesn't come by genes or genetics, no? So change the gender stereotyping, okay? Counter the argument with proper facts. Important thing is believing survivors. Always listen to the story rather than commenting, oh, why did she go in that time? See, how can she comment like that? Stop all that crazy. Just listen to her, believe the story, support her. Be a friend, be an ally, and offer unconditional support to her. That is very, very important. So, my dear children, these are the steps, certain steps you have to take to have a better generation. Okay? So, unfortunately, even today, if you Google women, we see that women should stay at home, women should not work. All these things, no more we want to listen. Okay? Okay. How can you change that narrative? We have to make gender neutral society. Can we take this thing that women stay at home? No, we go out in park with our colleagues, we are working, we are studying. Okay? So that's it. We can do anything and we can be anything. So thank you all for your patient listening again. Once again, the same thing at the end of the session, your post-test and feedback is necessary for your certification. And
the other PPT.
Shall I go ahead with the next presentation?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So if you have anything to add regarding any session from the hour you have been listening, you can put it in the chat box or you can write down to your teachers and forward it to us. We'll try to address it. Okay? Okay. Then the last topic is peer pressure, decoding peer pressure. What is peer pressure? So it's like this. Our peer pressure is influence of one on another. Let me put it in a simple word like this. So most of the time you spend in the class, so you are being asked to do certain unclassical things which you don't do or activity which you won't do by a friend, by force. So that is called peer pressure, okay? You have to be how you have to be. If you are being pressurized by your peers, that is nothing but peer pressure. So what are the highlights of this? Identifying a toxic environment. What is good touch and bad touch? The concept of consent and the power to say no. So registration is pre-test is mandatory. And at the end of the session, I repeat again for your post-test and feedback form for your certificate. certification of DHEERA value. So, what is peer pressure? It can be any influence that peers have on each other to conform to behaviors and personal habits of a group. Most of the time, this pressure is too subtle to identify, but has enormous effect. So, what are the types of peer pressure? You have spoken, unspoken. Let me put it in a simple way with a simple example. Let's take cigarette, okay? What is spoken? When one peer openly persuades other. When one says, why don't you try this cigarette and see? That is spoken, peer pressure. And unspoken, when one peer is persuaded by exposure to behavior. So when someone sees smoking the cigarette, that is unspoken. And direct, when someone offers you handing over a cigarette to you, that is direct pressure. Indirect pressure, this is very worse. When a peer overhears another gossiping, saying that, oh, that cigarette smoking, I have much feeling in that. So you keep listening to this gossiping and you get carried away. That is indirect peer pressure. And this peer pressure can be positive or negative. Positive if someone guides you in a right way, saying that no, smoking is not correct for you. Or you can watch pornography, that is not correct for you. That is positive pressure. No. Otherwise, negative pressure. It is trying to put you in the behavior that is against the moral code. That is negative pressure. So these are all the types of peer pressure. So you have to identify what is toxic environment. So when do you call the toxic which is not correct to you? When your friends make you feel about yourself, so you always have to be biased and you always have to feel inferior, or you always have to think, am I that poor, am I that strong? Or when your peers make you feel that way all the time, so you're never sure about your standing and your limits, and gossip is constant about friends. Effort is only one-sided. They don't respect your boundaries. You feel pressure to do things which you want to, and you'll be doing the things which you don't want to. There is a competition to be popular. So you're always worried if you're committing a simple or silly mistake, you'll be, they might make you leave. They encourage your worst traits, okay? All these are the toxic environments where you have to identify and avoid such situations. How do you avoid such situations? Okay, just you have to stop going out with strangers. That, my dear children, why are we insisting this? In spite of so many advancements in technology and your upcoming, we still see certain incidents. I'm sure last week what happened in Vijayawada? One girl started suicide, 13 years ago. We are in which case, so we don't want certain things to happen in future. So you are the future, you are the nation. Okay? So avoid going out with strangers. If at all you have to go, make sure that your parents or your teacher or your siblings are aware of your whereabouts. Always carry a phone or budget with you. Respect other people's boundaries. Draw boundaries for yourself. Be confident to say no to anything you are not comfortable with, and if you feel that is not correct to you. You should always have your police numbers 100. That is very important. 100 police number you have to have. Okay? Dr. Kabir already mentioned you what is the child saving number, police number, all of it you should have in mind. So not only identifying the toxic environment, but also you should be in a position to differentiate toxic people. So what is the boys to avoid and the girls to avoid? Boys who are against feminism and boys who are rude to their mothers, boys who don't respect your physical boundaries, boys who pressure you to send nudes, who pick the fight all the time, boys who use bad language, boys who comment on a girl's appearance without asking for opinion of something, boys who make filthy jokes. all these things you have to avoid. And also, girls who think it is unmanly to cry, if girls who call you a girl thinking it's an insult, girls who think man can be victim of abuse and rape, girls who are totally materialistic, girls also who uses bad words. It's better to avoid such boys and girls, okay? Not only identifying the toxic environment, but also the toxic people. First thing, learn to identify yourself and set boundaries you are comfortable with. That is very, very important. So if you feel that you are not comfortable, you can always say, I like this phone call if you're continuing to shout at me like this, if you're continuing to yell at me. I text you only for half an hour. So I can respond to your mails or whatever at the weekend. You need to have your own boundaries, okay? I'm not comfortable with that. If you ask me it again, I have to leave this. I will not answer you. I'm not comfortable if you're discussing such things. Better you don't discuss such things. I respect your opinion, but this is my life and my decision. So you need to have your boundaries, your comfortable with, okay? And I'm sure all of you must be knowing by now what is good touch and bad touch, my dear children. Shaking hands which you are seeing in the green, like it's a good touch. Just shaking hands, okay? Apart from that, touch area on the inner side of the tongue, bust, or neck, or face, mouth, is all called bad touch, where you have to speak out whenever you are not comfortable. You should have the power to say no. Most of the time, this peer pressure can make it feel like all touch are acceptable, which isn't true. I'm sure you take 30 seconds to see what is good touch and bad touch. Shaking the hands is only touch. And try to avoid all touch images. Things clearly given on face, mouth, chest, stomach, inner side of the thigh, between your legs, everywhere it's called bad touch. Again, already you have been sensed what is consent in terms of price, but what is consent? It is a permission for doing anything. So if you want to do anything, if you want to go ahead anything, always ask for the consent. Do not assume consent and respect consent. That is very, very important. Okay? So always no means no. That's all. Stop means you have to stop it. Leave me alone means yes. I am not ready means yes. Pushing you away means no. I don't feel like it means it's again no. Get away from me means no. Screaming means no. Don't means no. Crying means no. All these things no means no. S means one thing only. Okay? Freely given consent. So don't say maybe if you want to say no. That's very, very important. Okay? Always all of you should in a position to say no when you are unhappy or you are unpleasant. Stand up to peer pressure. Just say no now. Leave the scene and say, see you later. Make up an excuses. Like you can just put it in this way. Oh, I have to run. I have to do something. Oh, I have to run home. Otherwise, my parents are going to be punished me. Change the subject like, oh, I almost forgot to tell you about, or a better idea, maybe let's go check out that instead. So remember to always listen to your gut feeling. If your inner feeling is saying that oh, something is going wrong, you have to respect your gut instinct. Dreaming of better future for our future generation. Okay? That's it. So I want every girl to know that her voice can change the world. Again, you'll be given your certificate once you're done with your post-it and feedback. You'll be a DHEERA warrior. This is a lot of work done by our President, Dr. Shantakumari, and few more national team. And sincere thanks to all of them who made this project a big success, and we're still taking another every day.
Wonderful, madam.
Thank you,
Okay.
Sajna. It was it has come across to you in a very effective way. Very important presentations you have covered. Hope the children have taken some messages, at least of consent and boundaries and good touch and bad touch, and how to tackle the peer pressure, which is really, really very important. If we can have some students or teachers interactions or queries or anything that they want to share, anything they want to share, we'll be happy.
Voice of playing.
I don't want nothing. Would you like to ask anything? Do you have any options or anything? You have voice. You're the top bearers now for this session. Do you have anything? Sorry, not in group. Tell me. You want to ask anything?
Dr. Sajana, right in front of you, we have someone in black shirt, musician, drummer. We could see him playing around. We can ask him to talk. Madam, right in front of you, he was there, the first boy at that corner. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Please welcome. Or any of the girls also.
Anyone. Or even the teachers can comment, madam.
Was it a boring program, or you found some interesting thing? You wasted your Sunday, or you utilized your Sunday? Anything? He's gone back to his drumming.
Yeah.
We finished on time, though initial glitches and all. It's just 12:30.
Yeah.
But so much of effort from your side, really. Shailaja, Padmaja, and the whole team.
I take this wonderful opportunity to speak out. The session was really enlightening and.
Sir, can you have your introduction, please?
My name is Peter. I am in the English faculty.
Dr. Kiranmai, we have from Department of English, Mr. Peter.
Yeah,
Okay.
right,
Okay.
sir. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. The session is so wonderful. It's really enlightening. We came up with lots of concepts and it's lots of clarity as to what to do and what not to do, and it's a nice platform for, especially for the children, to have clarity in mind. So at this age, it's very much required. And one thing, there are lots of points, ma'am, explained by different. I mean, those who have spoken. I am not sure of the names. One thing I request is, if these children would get a kind of handouts, especially with connected with peer pressure, the do's and don'ts, and good touch, bad touch, all these things, and especially different ways of saying no, especially for the peer pressure, they should have, because I mean, by listening they may forget. If you could provide them handouts, that will be a wonderful thing for them to go through and to keep in their mind. That's one thing. And in a culture where we are man in India, so the total culture is different comparing to European countries and other countries, we have a different set of culture where we have a respect for women and everything. But as you have, as you have presented your views and after listening to that, we 100% agree the violence that is faced by the women. And at this juncture, also I would like to raise a question. Are all men violent? Or are all women innocent? Sometimes things can go by purpose, not like things that can be, maybe sometimes it can go wrong. I 100% agree with the presentation you have made and the evidences we have, the evidences we have, the proof we have, everything is good. Violence is taking place, harassment is taking place, is 99%, maybe 100%. But maybe there may be certain, because you said, believe the victim, listen, believe and act out. We respect those things, we believe. But sometimes maybe here and there. So at this juncture only I would like to just raise a question. Are all men violent or all women innocent?
Sir, thank you for those inputs. I would like to thank you for the suggestion of the handouts. Regarding your second issue, if all men are violent, it is not our this thing to say that all men, or this is not pointing fingers at all men. But the first slide in the presentation very clearly explained it's not all men, but all women will be in the fear of someone hurting or taking a violent action or perpetrating any crime. It is a fact that women, girls cannot roam around in midnight or whenever they want, however they want. Why is it? Why is it so? Because it is the fear that someone can do something. And that is what we are highlighting. A boy and a girl do not have equal safety. They do not have equal possibility or chance of behaving in the same way. And it's a fact. The point that we are focusing on violence against women is it is widely prevalent. It is leading to suicides. It is leading to homicides. It is as high as 38% globally and in our country also. And it by no means to say that all women and boys do it. But again, in one of the presentations, we have asked, especially the gender equality one, to be allies, to be friends, to raise your hand, to, not to tolerate sexism, not to be silent spectators, to be active bystanders. That is what we ask for. It is not pointing fingers or allegation. We ask for the cooperation and also to enhance the safety. The day a girl or a woman goes out in midnight with all the gold, how that is what Gandhiji has said, that is the day when we can say we are free from violence. It is not like saying that, someone is indulging in violence. Otherwise, actually, to your information, the terminology also is going to change in the future. It is not violence against women. See, why should we go in a passive voice? Who is doing the violence? Not women. So it may change to violence by men also in the future. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ దట్ టు ఫీల్ దట్ గుమ్మడికాయల ఇది అన్నట్టుగా కాకుండా మనం ఏం చేయగలము. సమాజంలో ఉంది రుగ్మత, సమాజంలో ఉంది సమస్య. ఇది మనం ఒక డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ అని కాదు, మన అక్కలకి చెల్లెళ్ళకి మన ఫ్యామిలీలో ఉండే ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళకి ఉండేదే. అందరూ అమ్మాయిలు ఇన్నోసెంట్, అందరు అబ్బాయిలను కేటగరైజేషన్ కాదు. ఇది ఒక ఏమని చెప్పాలి, యాలీ అంటే అందరం కలిసి చేయాల్సిన పని ఇది. అందుకోసమే బాయ్స్ తో కూడా స్పెసిఫిక్ గా వాళ్ళని అడ్రస్ చేస్తూ కొన్ని విషయాలు మనం మాట్లాడడం జరిగింది. బై స్టాండర్డ్స్ రోల్ అర్థం చేసుకోండి, కన్సెంట్ అర్థం చేసుకోండి, బౌండరీస్ అర్థం చేసుకోండి. ఇది బౌండరీస్ కన్సెంట్ అనేవి ఇద్దరికి సమానం. ఎస్పెషలీ ఆ పియర్ ప్రెషర్ దాంట్లో మనం చెప్పింది అమ్మాయిలకి అబ్బాయిలకి ఈక్వల్ గా చెప్పాం. బౌండరీస్ అనేవి అమ్మాయిలు ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసుకోవాలి, అబ్బాయిలు ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ చేసుకోవాలి. హెల్దీ బౌండరీస్, సేఫ్ బౌండరీస్, ఒకళ్ళనొకళ్ళు రెస్పెక్ట్ చేయడము, నువ్వెంతో ఈక్వలో నేనంతే ఈక్వల్ అనేది. అప్పుడే ఈ సమాజం అనేది వస్తుంది. కానీ it is not to say, especially the first slide, not all men practice violence against women, but all women live with the threat of male violence every single day. This is the truth. All over the earth. This is the truth. That is a fact we have to tell. That is the reason why, because as gynecologists, again and again we are telling, as obstetricians and gynecologists, we have seen horrible, horrendous impact on the health of the woman in pregnancy, later in the girls, before birth. Cheppam kada, అమ్మాయి అంటే అబార్షన్, అమ్మాయి పుట్టగానే భ్రూణ హత్య, శిశు హత్య, ఎన్నో 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 చూసి బాధపడి ఆ తర్వాత ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్యాంపెయిన్ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది. పుట్టక ముందే అమ్మాయి పట్ల వివక్ష, ఇది నిజం, మన సమాజంలో ఉంది. అబ్బాయే కావాలి, ఈ వివక్ష లేదా మనకి? ఇది పోయేంత దాకా ఇది తప్పదు మనకి. అప్పటిదాకా మనం నాట్ ఆల్ మెన్ అనేది డిస్కషన్ లోకే రాదు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. మీకు చెప్పిన హ్యాండ్ అవుట్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్ ఐడియా. Definitely we'll go ahead with the handouts of good touch and bad touch, especially boundaries and consent, which will, I think we can send the soft copies to you. And I would like any of the women teachers or the girls over there to give their views if possible. This is our take home.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, this is the take home. This is the only, if one single slide ante ide cheppali. It's a fact.
Yeah, I tried this time from Google, like Sriman said, so it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any female teacher who wants to
Women
speak?
teachers ఎవరైనా అమ్మాయిలు కానీ వాళ్ళ వ్యూ పాయింట్స్ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేస్తారా?
ఇప్పుడు
yes Shriman.
Padmaja ma'am.
Join అవుతారంటనా?
I'm Shailaja ma'am. I would like to thank you.
Okay. Dr. Shailaja,
madam,
Shanta madam is going to join.
Stop
great.
screen.
Yeah.
I'll stop.
No.
sharing.
Yeah.
Yes, please, madam. We're waiting to hear from you. Dr. Shanta Kumari will join us shortly.
She isn't yet joined. Meanwhile, we can have madam మీరు మాట్లాడండి, please introduce yourself.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to thank you for the innovative and very, in fact, we were waiting to hear to have this kind of session all the day. And anyway, end of this academic year, we are happy to have this session, eye-opening for especially for the girls. These are the issues constantly with regard to the social topic. Every day we are going through this and we are listening. But to have like this very rare people come about and organize and conduct a debate or Zoom meeting or like these programs. So today we are very happy to have and listen to this. During this session, what we could understand, I'm so happy that I have to learn you gave that a signpost. Whenever children are in threat or whenever we come across some problems, what are the way in Facebook and YouTube we have come across saying when the girl is affected with she has some problem, normally the side that will help us to show no holding his hand and just calling out for the help. That that I have seen. In fact, today we make it and enlighten every girl in the school and wherever we come out and wherever we have the session, we will take it this and we give some more awareness program with this signpost, so that this will be, first of all, we should start in the school environment, secondly in the family, and thereby everywhere in the society. Then it will be very, very useful to all the stuff. Especially if you are following the poor ways, it will take time to give. Suppose the people are passing by nearby, this signpost will really help you. First thing what I like, and the second one is, when Madam was explaining that I liked the 5 Ds that you told about it. If you recollect it, first you told about delegate and disturb, and finally directly come into the document and the process of then we can Yeah, but escalate the program and finally report it to the police station and we take it and solve the problem. Really excellent, ma'am, that the 5 Ds what you spoken and we are so happy. And anything you say, then we surely, as you said, we will start out and send in the chat box, whatever the queries we have, and then we will send you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you, madam, so much for your inputs. And you have very clearly, I wished one of the students could have told about the 5 Ds, but still we are very happy that you have told us all the 5 Ds. And especially I wanted to tell from your side, maybe you will be having these essay writing competitions or role plays and all. Kindly please include this aspect of especially being an active bystander and concepts of consent. This is what our children are lacking, as to be proactive in the society, and also to draw boundaries, and also consent, what is consent and what is not consent. Thank you so much for your inputs. Shriman, madam has joined. Shriman?
No, madam. Just a minute. I'm creating a link actually.
Okay. As Dr. Kiranmai was telling, not all people abuse. But the problem is that we should be able to abuse doesn't mean only being beaten up, raped, things like that. It is also the emotional support systems that are being taken away and the constant criticism that girls face for quite a large number of times. So what we want is the boys to stand up for girls so that girls will also be able to come up and enjoy equal ability to accept challenges. So quite a large number of times we see that girls, they study well till school level, they're competing well, they're scoring good marks. But when you go on to managerial positions, get married, they're dropping out of workforce. It is because that is, they've also studied. We see a lot of people who've done BTech. But then what do you do? Means they say, I'm a housewife. We're not saying being a homemaker is any less job. But what we mean to say is she is also an engineer. She also has intelligence. She has also put in so much time of her life into studying. So we want her to be able to explore and do what she wants. No one should be forced to drop out of the workforce. So this sort of discrimination also needs to be stopped. And we expect our young boys to encourage and keep the option open that they will support their sisters, their partners in future to come out. So this is the sort of change in the society that we are looking for.
Wow.
Actually, this has led to some discussion and good interaction actually.
Yes.
So there, as Dr. Padmaja said, there is a lot of it. It's not just physical violence. It is not just, rapes and all. There is a spectrum of we have showed one slide. It is not a level playing field. You can simply see how many ministers are female, how many MPs are female, how many of your other professions. When the population is half of each, half of the population is male and half of the population is female, how many opportunities are women getting, and how many women are able to loiter just like boys and men at whatever time they want, wherever they want to go. There are so many restrictions. That is not equality. What we are asking for is equality for everyone, for every one of us. It's not for some more.
Good afternoon, Shanta madam.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, Dr. Shanta.
Yeah. Ma'am, unmute.
Madam, unmute yourself.
We had
Good afternoon,
Dr.
everyone.
Shanta madam who had, started this campaign and program, because of which we are able to reach out to you.
Can we have a round of applause for Dr. Shanta? Yes. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so sorry. I'm actually driving. I was driving. So which school is this?
This is Happy Valley School, Tadepalli, Vijayawada, madam.
Vijayawada, na? Okay. English medium pillala Telugu mana
English medium, madam.
English.
Very good. So it's very nice, girls and boys, seeing you all today. How many children are there?
100 students, madam.
100 students. Very good on a Sunday. So congratulations and thank you for joining us today. So it's very nice that all of you have joined, and thank you very much. It's very important that you understand why we have started this DHEERA, No to Violence Against Women, because I want you all to grow up to be more responsible citizens. I know you all are better than us. You all will grow up to be more stronger, better citizens of the country. So I'm really looking forward to you all to grow up to be much better citizens than there are now. And I'm sure that you all will agree with me that boys and girls are equal and everyone has to be treated with equal respect and mutual trust in each other. So thank you for joining today. All of you will be getting the Foxy UNICEF certificate of DHEERA. And please tell your friends and of other schools also that they can do this online certification course. We have here all our team, Dr. Padmaja, Dr. Shailaja, and Dr. Sujata, and so many other.
Sajana.
Dr.
Sajana is there.
Hmm.
Yeah, very nice. Sajana, Kiranmai is there. All of them are going to help you to actually make you all understand why we are doing this course. So get motivated, make your other friends also join this online certification course. And then we are hoping that finally the whole country, every student would have done this course. So the next generation, we don't have to talk about violence against women. So thank you, everyone. All the teachers and the principal of the school, I would like to thank on behalf of Foxy and FIGO. Thank you very much for motivating your teachers and children for this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sajana, for making the effort to be there. And we thank all the teachers and the students for sparing their valuable Sunday.
Sunday time.
Yes.
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 Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Thank you to the teachers who have spoken up and interacted. And
Yeah.
they have given us good feedback. Thank you so much for being
Yeah.
part of this campaign.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, madam. Sriman,
Yes, ma'am.
one second. Sajna, madam, you can leave.
Yeah. Dr. Shailaja, we are done.
Okay, madam. Bye. Sriman, I just wanted to check that annotation thing you did. You have stopped recording?
No, ma'am.